Here comes everyone. So for those who can already hear me, I'm going to repeat myself a little bit as people's audio connects. Good morning, I'm Judge Person, and I'm just, again, waiting for audio to kind of do its thing. Different devices, different bandwidths, so things connect at different speeds, but it'll all kind of come to. So most people are kind of connected. Good morning, I'm Judge Person. I welcome everybody to the Temple Municipal Court. And I'm going to conduct court, obviously, on Zoom, but I want to kind of give you some steps about how things work. Just, I think it's better to kind of orient folks. So again, for those whose audio just connected, I'm Judge Person and welcoming everybody to the Temple Municipal Court. It's convenient to do things this way, and that's kind of what it's meant to be, is a convenience. But I want to just let you know a few things about how court is working. If you have, and you should be on mute, and you should stay on mute, because if we all unmute at the same time, it's actually not going to help anyone at that point. So I will unmute you when it's your turn, and everyone will get an opportunity to talk to me when it's your turn, just like we would do in hearing the courtroom. So I do welcome everyone, and then I want to let you know a few things. We have 2 dockets that we're working on. One is a pretrial docket, and that is a meeting with the city's prosecutor on cases where the person has pleaded not guilty. And the city's prosecutor is Ryan Matson. Mr. Matson, give a wave if you could, please. There he is. So you will go into a virtual room and have a conversation with Mr. Matson if you've entered a plea of not guilty. And that's just a step. We're actually moving those cases toward trial, possibly toward trial. And I will... you'll have another court date to come in the courtroom, set your case on the docket, do any pretrial matters that we have and any kind of discovery. And then, a trial will get set at that point. That's the next step. This is kind of a preliminary step. So we're not conducting trials online. And I've created that breakout room to meet with that prosecutor. After that meeting, you'll come back into this room to meet with me again, just briefly, getting just some final papers if I need them, and some final remarks, comments, moment. Okay, and you'll see how that works in a moment. So I'm going to get that started here shortly. The next thing I want you to know is that when you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods that we have for accusing someone. That is what a ticket is. It's an accusation. And when you give a plea, you're giving an answer or response to that accusation. And sometimes folks are here and I'm accepting their plea today. And we're moving into sentencing. So I want to talk a little bit about that. First of all, there are 3 options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. Okay. If you plead guilty, you're really saying, I did this. You're admitting to that offense the way that it's written on the citation. If you plead no contest, you're not admitting it, but you're not challenging it or denying it either. You're just not contesting it, moving forward into sentencing. If you plead not guilty, you have the right to trial. Pleading not guilty invokes that right, and we start moving that case toward trial. There's the pretrial today, a final pretrial where we do preliminary matters prior to juries and so forth coming in. Then we have trial. Okay, so just that's how things flow. If you plead guilty or no contest, I'm going to move into sentencing with you. That normally means having it go on your record, paying the fines and costs. Now, fines and costs, that's all subject to your circumstances, which is why I had people fill out those forms that you filled out to give me income information in case we need it. And if we're moving into sentencing, I will look at it and talk to you about it. And that's, again, individual. Everybody's situation can be pretty different, okay? The other thing I want to talk to you about is, things going on your record, okay? And so here, what I'm going to tell you is that at that point, there's still 3 ways to gain a dismissal. Well, I'm sorry, 4. And one is for compliance. I'm going to tell you what they are quickly. I'm going to tell you just briefly how they work. compliance dismissals, driver safety course options, deferred dispositions, and teen court. Now, just to back up, compliance dismissals are cases where the law specifically says you can bring the situation up to date and under certain circumstances gain a dismissal, okay? One example, just to make it concrete, is let's say you're driving down the road, your blinker's out, you don't know your blinker is out, you're cited for your blinker being broken, you come into the court, you prove that it's fixed, we do a dismissal with a $10 dismissal fee. Okay, that's just an example. There are about 12 of those in the traffic code. If I told you all of the details on all 12 of them, it would take us too long. But what the law says is that I sort of see if you're qualified for that dismissal and basically walk you through it, okay? 2, the second dismissal option is a driver safety course option. With the driver safety course option, you take a course, you get your driving record turned in, those have to be on time, you get a dismissal. Let's talk in this context for a quick minute about fines and costs. So every ticket has a fine and a cost. And when you're here at the clerk's desk, they'll give you a number, right? But that number is the whole number, the fines and costs. In the driver safety course option, you just pay the costs, and the fine goes on hold, okay? If you get your record and your course turned in on time, you get a dismissal. That fine that was on hold gets waived, okay? So if you're doing that route, you're going to save some money and keep it off your record, remember? It will be less expensive than the ticket. That is by design, because we know from all of the studies out there, they all show that persons who take that course will drive a little bit better for a while. Incidents go down of accidents, injuries, and further violations. So we're incentivizing that situation, encouraging people to do that, take that step. So that's a little bit about how that one works. I'm going to automatically look and see if you're qualified. You're welcome to ask about these first 2 options. You're welcome to chime in, ask me if I missed something. It's not a problem if you don't know what's going on. It's normal to ask questions, okay? But I'm going to assume that you would want me to let you know about those options because the law says the judge should or may. I'm sorry, the judge shall. Okay, so I will walk you through those. The third option is called a deferred disposition. The word deferred means a delay, and disposition means to make final. So we delay making your case final. We put a court order in place in writing. You sign off on it. It says what you need to do. It's listed on a page. Here are the things you need to do to gain a dismissal. If you do them, you gain a dismissal, and you know exactly what you need to do. There it is in writing. So that's called a deferred disposition. Now listen up, because there's a little trick, okay? If you want a deferred disposition in a Class C court like this one, you have to ask at the time that you enter your plea. What would that look like? No contest, judge, I'd like a deferred. It's that simple. Guilty, judge, I'd like a deferred. Again, that simple, okay? Guilty or no contest, I really don't have an opinion about your plea, okay? What I'm here to do is facilitate and make court orders and finalize cases that is different for each case, okay? So I don't have an opinion about it, but if you're seeking a deferred, guilty or no contest, plus a request for a deferred is how you get that here. Now, if you go to a higher level court, like a B, Class B, or a higher level misdemeanor court or a felony court, you ask the prosecutor first, come to an agreement and bring it to the judge. Here you can ask the prosecutor. You can also just enter that plea and ask the judge, okay? And that confuses people. That even confuses attorneys that aren't here a lot. If they're not in this type of court, they might not even know that because it's different. There's a rule that's different here. And it allows most people represent themselves in this type of court. And so the rules should and do reflect that. So you can enter that plea and make that request for a deferred. Teen court is for high school, middle school type students. If you're in school, I'll be talking to you about teen court. It is a dismissal process. It's somewhat similar to a deferred, but it works a little differently in terms of you're a student and so forth. And so we work around that. Okay, so that's my 101 class. Okay, if you have questions when it's your turn, definitely want to hear from you. I'll kind of walk you through the case. We'll get on the same page. I'll talk to you about options. I'll entertain questions or concerns, and we'll keep going. Okay. Also, another thing to alert you to is that, you know, we're trying to move things forward today and minimize court time. You might need to come in to sign paperwork. It won't take very long if you do. We're looking for signatures on things today to memorialize the discussions and decisions that we have today. And I make notes, but that's not all we need. We might need your signature. So be thinking about whether you can print what we send you and sign it and get it back to us today, either through a scan email, or sometimes with even a smart type device, you can take a photo and email it to us. We're always using the email that we used to set up this meeting. It's exactly the same one that court online help.templetx.gov. You probably already have it, but we can get you that information. The other option is to just come on in and get it, and then we'll get you free copies if you want to do that. Okay, so either is going to work, but just be thinking about that, like how are we going to finish it? And the other good news about doing it this way is that any time today is probably going to work. We close at 5, so we're shooting for not having everybody come in all at once. But 4:30 is kind of like the last time. But we have slots available throughout the day, so we can accommodate some of that, like lunch breaks and stuff like that. Because we know your time. Time is important for people, and we do want to respect that. But still, things are pending here. We need to get them addressed. So does that make sense? Looking like some good nods. Okay. If it doesn't, ask me questions. Now, the other thing is, Mr. Matson, I'm going to go ahead and start you with Zachary Henson, and let me get, so Mr. Henson, and for anyone on the pretrial docket, I'll be working with you, moving you into that meeting. What I'm going to tell you is that when I send you a request to join that meeting, it should automatically move you to that meeting. You might or might not be able to come back on your own over here, in which case I'll move you back over when you're done talking to Mr. Matson. He'll come let me know. I don't know. He seems to have that functionality, and I think some folks do, some folks don't, and it might depend on the type of device that you're using. So don't get frustrated. We'll work with you. So Mr. Matson, that request coming over to you now, and your first person is going to be Zachary Henson. And Mr. Henson, there you are. Just as you can unmute and head on over to that. We'll see you shortly. Then I have a few folks that I need to identify. Not quite sure if I have the right files pulled. Sometimes the identifier that's on your device that you're using is labeled. Maybe it's someone else's, or maybe you just didn't name it. I've got someone named Zoom user. Let me ask you to unmute. I've sent you an unmute request. Yes. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Miguel Lopez.
Okay. Trevino Lopez. Gotcha, Mr. Trevino Lopez. I will get you logged in. Thank you, and I will mute you back, but now I've got you checked in, so that's good to keep your place in line. There's someone not on screen yet, and if you're at home, we understand, but we need to stay on screen. So everybody get your video going if you haven't. And this one is called Colors iPhone, and you'll need to unmute Colors iPhone and tell me your name, please. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Good morning. What's your name, please?
Natalie Freeman.
Freeman.
Could you hear?
Yes, ma'am. I sure can hear you. Thank you, Ms. Freeman. I'm going to just change your name for this. It only changes it for this meeting. Okay, so it won't change whatever you have going on, but just for this meeting, so I don't lose track of you. And when you were logging in, it might have taken a few minutes. I was watching the order that people were logged in, and so trying to keep people in line. Like we would in court. I try to keep it as much like the court as I can. And if you had a court time, oh, hey, phone caller just unmuted. Phone number ending in maybe 219. Hello, can you tell me your name?
Darwin Newsom.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Newsom. Great. I've got you checked in. Are you on a telephone?
Yes, I am, ma'am.
Okay, that will work. What I have found with the phone is that, it can get kind of boring and you might tune it out a little bit. Try to listen, because at a certain point, I'll call your name and I'll expect you to unmute at that. I'll send you an unmute request, but we can definitely work with the phone. But I just want to, it's a little more, there's just a few challenges there that I want to adapt to a little bit. So just keep an ear open for your name to be called. Okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Let's see. Let me just make a note that that's a phone. Okay, and then I have actually, back to the phone, I have an area code beginning in 569 with the phone number ending around 045. Could you please unmute and tell me your name?
Yes. Hi. Good morning, Judge.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very well, thank you.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What's your name?
It's Elizabeth Rennie, R Romeo E Echo M Mike Y Yankee.
Gotcha. Okay. And are you on a telephone?
I am.
Okay, again, kind of the same sort of caution with you. It's not unusual to sort of lose track of what's happening. Just keep an ear open for your name, okay?
Got it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, and we'll get with you here shortly. Everybody will have a turn. And then I have a phone number beginning with 254, and the last few numbers might be 610, hitting you with an unmute request. If you could, just give me your name, please.
Hello,
Yes, hi, caller.
this is Sherry Vanetta.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Vanetta. I do have you on my docket, and I'm going to log you in.
Okay.
And again, just the same thing. Keep an ear open for your name, because I will get to you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And let's see. I had someone, if they're still on. Yes, Jenny McGinnis, I do have you. Let's see. I saw your paperwork earlier. Jenny McGinnis, are you also Jenny Perkins?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay. I won't lose track of you. I do have you, and I have your file pulled. I recognize the first name. I just wanted to confirm you were the person I was thinking you would be.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have video?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me ask you to get on that video.
Okay.
And I did look at your information, and I will be with you shortly. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And let me see if there's any. Charles Smith. I actually have a Sandra Smith on for today. And if you could get on video, or get your screen, it's blocked. Your video is blocked.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry, Judge.
I can hear you. Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm technically challenged. How do I go and turn the video on?
Well, it's hard for me to answer. I'm not an IT person.
Oh, okay.
But I'll tell you what happened. I will tell you what happened to me. I had that happen to me, and where it was, I could not get it. I mean, it was said it was on, but here we go. And, couldn't get it to work. And it turned out that it was a pop-up camera on the top of my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see me?
I can see you clearly. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And everybody else.
Okay. That tells me that your video works and that your camera's covered.
Okay.
So, mine's at the top of my screen.
Yeah.
Push it down, you could hear me, and it would look like I'm here, but you wouldn't see me. So you might look around. It's not quite time to talk with you, so you have a few minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I see the camera, but I see the lens on the top. It's in the top middle. This is my husband's computer, but I
It could
see
be
it.
broken.
And
So I don't know, but I'll work with you
So
when it's your
sorry.
turn.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be back with you, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so now I just want to start plowing through because I know, again, like I said, people's time is important. And I want to begin by talking with Jenna Bautista. Are you still here? Yes, there you are. Hi, Miss Bautista. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And just a real quick, and just a note to everyone, not anyone in particular. It's a conversation that's, current right now. If I use pronouns that you aren't comfortable with, just you need to tell me, okay? I'll do my best. So Miss Bautista, let's see. I did receive your pleas today of no contest on, and just to summarize, there's passing an authorized emergency vehicle. These are all from 2017, November 7th. And then there's just what's called violating the promise to appear. That is where, like, on your ticket, this happens to people. On your ticket, at the bottom of your ticket where you sign, the officer is authorized by law to give you a court date.
Oh, okay.
If you miss that court date, then you can get that other charge. And that's the violation of the promise to appear is such a charge. And I did get a no contest plea on that. I have a few people coming in. Just pause that conversation.
Yes.
Oh, just real quickly though, I did receive the no contest plea on both of those. Is that your plea today?
Yes.
Hold on just a moment. I'll be right back with you. I'm just gonna let these folks come in.
Yes, ma'am.
That pretrial though. All right. And so Ms. Bautista, I had also received a request for community service to satisfy the fines and costs, and I am approving that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we just need to get you back down the road. There's
Yes.
when things derail, then it's important to try to get them back on track. And what I'll tell you there is, and I'll recall your warrants today, okay?
Thank
Now,
you.
here's the thing. It looks like I probably have a hold on your license. I'm grabbing a stamp. Hold on just a minute.
Mhm.
And so I'll recall those warrants. And then kind of what I'm looking at is giving you time to do your community service, which you can do in your community.
Yes, ma'am.
And it can be at any nonprofit organization.
Okay.
And what I want to do there is say, okay, now I do need a signature on one paper. Can you print what I send you through email and just send it back to us? That's the
Yes.
easy.
Yes, I can.
Okay. If we can get that from you today, then I can recall your warrants. All right. And
Yes.
yes, ma'am. It turns into 45 hours. Now, here's my other question for you, because I noticed from your paperwork, you have kids and they're all little kids. So where are they in the day? Like, are you going to be able to do the community service?
Yes, I would be doing the community service on Saturdays, and also the church has programs and stuff that they do after 7, which is when I get out of work. So they said they'll work with me to make me do like cleaning and activities to do hours.
And you have kids, someone can watch your kids while you're doing all that?
Yes, my mom said she'll watch them for me.
Okay, you've got a plan. Okay, so I'm going to give you 60 days, and that's, May 31st, to get that back to us. And if you need more time, then you can come into court by way of the email on or before that due date, though, so that you don't go back to warrant, and you can ask for more time. Just send in what you've already done. Tell me how much time you need, and I will almost always grant that request. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to email everything to you.
Okay.
And then, it'll include a timesheet to keep track of your hours. And your supervisor there will sign off. Just make sure they're authorized to sign off. And because we'll call and validate them. So we also will need you to tell us where you went, when you went, and who supervised you. And that's the sheet that we give you. We'll have that where you just fill it out. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any
Thank you so
questions?
much. You said it would be 45 hours, right?
Yes, for total, for all of the cases.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, thank you for that. Do you have any further questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, just get us that signature today and then get it done and get it turned in, okay?
Alrighty. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so I am moving forward and let's see, my next person is Jasmine Studemeyer. And Ms. Studemeyer, thanks for getting logged back in. I saw that something happened and I'm glad you were able to solve it, but you didn't lose your place in line. I knew it was a technical thing happening. And so great to have you back in. And I just wanted to get your file pulled. Give me a moment. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thanks. So I did review everything that you sent in and you had a theft charge. And I just had a question for the clerk. So bear with me. Let me ask her a quick question. Okay. Is that the first one? Studemeyer. And she's on time. She's asking for a deferral. Yes. Okay, and have we looked at the prosecutor's memo on that? Just give me a moment. I'm looking to see. I probably need to have that discussion with him. Let's see, give me just a moment. First offense theft, there it is. Okay, let me look. Okay, so yeah, it's still in place. Okay, so Ms. Studemeyer, we have a program that is unique to our court, and it allows that if you will take an 8-hour theft intervention class, and you have up to 60 days, but we like to get it in 30, and you get it turned in on time by your next court date. I'm authorized then to sign a dismissal.
Thank you.
You're a student. What are you studying to do?
I'm actually studying psychology to be a behavioral analysis.
Okay, that is along the lines of medical work.
Mhm.
And that's where theft classes and theft charges can really disrupt that career path. It's one of the reasons we have for the one-time situation, we're hoping it's a one-off and that it won't happen again with some intervention. So that's what the class is about, is getting you to the point. I've taken all these classes that we send people to. And that one actually is pretty interesting. And it really helps you think about, if I'm faced with this situation again, do I have a plan? And it gets you to develop a plan. Think about what happened when this happened. There's a lot of stuff going on in your mind. If you're studying that, you know. And so I think you'll actually, this is my long-winded way of saying it's not boring. It's an interesting class. I'm going to give you till May 3rd to do it. And we're going to send you some paperwork to fill out to be in that program and to extend your court date. Can we email it to you and have you print it, sign it, and email it back?
Do I have to print it off? Is there any way I can, like, Adobe Reader and just sign off on it and email it back?
If it's your legal signature, the answer is yes. If it's an e-sign, we don't do e-sign.
Okay.
It's not legally binding in this context. So I just need it somehow. You could come in and get it and do it here. You look like you might be a local person, but you're a student. I don't know. Either one works. Are you going to, should we do it through email or will you come in?
You can just email it to me.
Okay. We'll email it to you probably a little bit later in the morning. I've got to get all that rounded up to print and send to you. If you haven't received it by about 1 o'clock, call up the clerk's desk and see what's going on. But it should be there probably.
Sounds good. And I have a question.
Yes.
Say after I get the paperwork today, if I were to do the 8-hour course starting tomorrow,
Yeah.
I can still get everything signed off and done.
Yeah, the sooner the better. It's a
Yes.
deadline,
Okay.
but there's nothing wrong with turning in your term paper early, right? If it's ready, it's ready. So if you finish, you finish. Just send over the certificate of completion to the clerk, call and make sure we received it, and then it should be good. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Any further questions?
Ma'am.
Okay, that was a good question. All right, you're good to go, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, moving along. I want to talk to, and I'm going to butcher this name, but I'm going to do my best. Wahela Janae? Now, where are you? Yes, ma'am. There you are. Hi, can you tell me the best way to say your name?
It's Wahila.
Wahila?
Yes, ma'am.
And the last name?
June.
Julie?
June, like the month June.
June. Okay, and you say Junie or June?
It's just June.
Okay, great. I'm sure I'm not the first person to get that wrong, but I do try. I did review everything you sent in, and let's see. So yeah, I can tell that you hit a pretty rough patch, and we had community service on the table. It didn't get done, but I did review what you told me about what happened there, and you're wanting some more time to get that done. Do I have it right?
Yeah, or if possible, like I could take a driving class or something like that.
Right. So at this time, it's actually
Too late.
Yeah, it is. It is. But and I just want to check with the clerk real quickly. How many hours did you have? I just want to make sure your hours requirement hasn't changed.
I think it was 30. Oh, okay.
37?
I think it was 36.
Okay, 36 will work. Let me double check that. And if I could get her court order, wonderful, thank you. Okay, so yes, I can extend that. Did you get any of the hours done?
I didn't have any transportation at all.
Okay, right, I got that. So, right, so we're going to just start over. That's going to be the best way. And it's 36 hours. Normally I give you a 60-day window with the understanding that if it's not done, it's not the end of the world. It's just that I'm gonna need to hear from you. Okay. Just at that point, what I want you to do is bring me what you have, drop it off at the clerk's, drop me a note about how much longer you're going to need, and keep going to get it done. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I think we need your signature on one document. Can we get you in? Can we get you in this morning to come sign it?
Well, I normally go to lunch about 12 o'clock.
That'll work. Will that work for you?
Yeah, or you can email it to me and I can sign it and scan it and email it back.
That'll work. Okay, thank you. All right.
Also,
yes,
I have a question because I'm trying to get a second job as a delivery driver for Domino's, but
right.
my license is expired, so I can't get it renewed because of the fines.
Right. I need to zero out your balance to release the license.
Okay.
So what I would say is just, it's time to get this done.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Have a good day.
Waila. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So moving forward, Susan Dennison. There you are. Ms. Dennison, can you get on screen, please? And unmute. That would be the most helpful. Yes, hi, good morning. So if you can unmute Ms. Dennison, that would be helpful.
She have to tap on her screen and pull it up.
Yeah, I don't have the capacity to do that. But thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, what happens is I send a unmute request. So it becomes a button that someone can click. Miss Dennison, can you unmute? Okay, you're talking, so that means you're hearing me. That's good news. That means your sound is working. So we have actually just to find the way to do it. I'm going to go into the chat mode and see if you can do the chat. That sometimes we can trouble solve it that way. Not bad at this, but it isn't what I went to school for, that's for sure. I'm going to let you work on that. I'm just going to talk quickly to Mr. Henson and Mr. Matson. Give me just a moment. Okay, Mr. Matson, Mr. Henson, y'all can unmute and just, Mr. Matson, are we moving toward a resolution with this charge, or are we heading to trial?
We are moving towards a resolution, Your Honor.
Okay.
I heard some circumstances from Mr. Henson, and I told him if he can get an affidavit from the sheriff sent over to the court today, indicating that the handicap spot was not properly marked as a handicap spot for the last 2 years, and provide a photo of it, then I would dismiss his case.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is say that if we receive information from Mr. Henson to the court, we will forward it, Mr. Henson, to the prosecutor today. Otherwise, I'm expecting that we'll all be here if the case is still pending. May 4th at 1 o'clock is our next scheduled date. He has a deadline for you of today, however. So get that over and we will forward it to him and he can review it and make his decision based on the information that y'all discussed. Because at that point, I wait to hear from you and then him, and then I move on the information provided to you. So that's a long-winded way of saying if it's still pending May 4th, definitely 1 o'clock is your time slot on that date. Otherwise, if I receive a motion to dismiss from the prosecutor based on the information you submit to him, I will sign it. Okay? Okay, Mr. Matson, are we good?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
I'm just making a note of this, and then I'm going to let Mr. Henson go, and Mr. Matson, I'll move you forward. So thank you, Mr. Henson. Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, just use the email that we set the meeting up with. Get it over. You can call and make sure we receive it. All right. And so, Mr. Matson, moving you forward to your next person, and you've got an almost 100% turnout rate today. So just so you know on timing, Anthony Velarde is here today for you. And let me find Mr. Velarde in the list of people, or he was here. Let's see. Are you here, Mr. Velarde? People get on and off. And
I'm here, Your Honor.
Oh, there he is. I see you. Okay, very good. So sending you over to that breakout room. When y'all are done with that discussion, you're coming back over, okay?
Your Honor, you did cut out a bit when you mentioned something about timing. Could you repeat that?
Not sure exactly the context, but what I'll say is that I'm sending you over to the prosecutor meeting space. And when you're done, you'll come back over here.
It was right before that, actually. You said just to make you aware of something.
Yeah, just to make you aware. And thank you for letting me know that I cut out. Almost everyone has turned up on your docket today.
Okay, great.
So I just said in terms of timing, just so that you know, because it's a lot of people today and some are mine and some are yours, and you probably haven't had a time to really run it all down. So here we go. I'll send you on over, or you'll go on over. Mr. Velarde.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Velarde, here you go. Okay, and we finally have Miss Denson resolving. Maybe she had some sound issues. Sounds like. Okay. Ms. Dennison, it seems like I've got you now on 2 devices, which is fine. And maybe one of those can be unmuted so that we can understand one another. Yeah, I see her. But I'm trying to also get her audio going. She had 2 devices. She went off. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just move to the next person. I'll come back to Ms. Dennison. It's not a perfect system. Christopher Withers, good morning. Can you unmute and get on screen, please? I did see Mr. Withers earlier. Hi, Mr. Withers. I see you. Can you unmute and get on video, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, hi, Mr. Withers.
I don't, ma'am. My phone is cracked.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
My phone is cracked, ma'am.
Okay. Well, we'll work on it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can hear me
I'm
though.
here.
Yes, great. So
I'm here, ma'am.
yeah, great. That's great. Now listen for a moment, okay?
I can't hardly hear you.
Okay,
I can't
well,
hardly hear you, ma'am.
turn up your volume. So I was going to ask you, we had you ordered for community service.
I can't hear you, ma'am.
Okay, you'll need to come into the court. Just come on over here. Come on over to the court. This won't work. This only is going to be good for us if it works. So I'm going to hang you up and have you drive over to the court.
Ma'am.
Come on into the lobby.
Right now.
Sorry. Mr. Withers?
I can't hear you. I can't.
Just give me a moment. On his, I'm going to give. It's 94 hours. And he can work with the clerk at the front. And if they need me, they can come in and talk to us, okay? He has had time. He's been on a community, it's a show cause. So I'm going to give him 60. Yeah, because he shouldn't be starting afresh. And if he is, I need to monitor that a little bit more closely. But I get the request, or I get your concern. Mr. Matson, I know that you were talking with Mr. Velarde. And let's see, let me just get that pulled up. Okay, so Mr. Matson, Mr. Velarde, Mr. Matson, are we heading toward trial or are we heading toward resolution?
This ticket is also going to be dismissed, Your Honor. Mr. Velarde has already submitted proof of a valid placard at the time of citation.
Okay, so since that proof is entered, I'll take your oral motion, generate that dismissal here now and email it to Mr. Velarde.
That sounds good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, if you're comfortable with that. All right. Mr. Velarde, we're going to email that to you in the course of the morning. Okay?
Okay.
All right. You're good to go as well. Just look for that in your inbox soon.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Matson, moving you forward. The next person is Uramis Granada. And let me find that person.
Yes, I am here.
Yes, ma'am. So, and it will help you to get on screen. I'm going to send you on over to that meeting with Mr. Matson. When you're done with that meeting, you'll come back over to this meeting. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'm moving forward as well with Miguel Trevino Lopez. Hi, Mr. Trevino Lopez. Good morning.
Good morning.
Go by Trevino Lopez or just by Lopez?
Both, but they mainly just call me by Lopez.
Okay. Let me get your file pulled up. And I did review the information. I had a request for teen court for a new charge. The new charge is the same as the old charge. It's like meet the new boss, same as the old boss. But what I was going to tell you there is actually the request for teen court. I don't really, we already have teen court on your old cases. And everything was due March 3rd. And we did not receive anything from you. You didn't do teen court. You just signed up to do teen court, left and didn't do your teen court process. So I don't see you doing it again. Right. So I'm going to deny that request. Okay. And now the next question is, are you working at this time?
Nah.
Okay. So I'll need you, let's see, you're 16. Do you have a family member with you? Is Norma Lopez? Is Norma Lopez with you?
I'm not been. Yeah, my mom.
Okay, let me have y'all on screen. Hi, Ms. Lopez. I'm also treating this as a show cause because honestly, Mr. Miguel, he did not get his teen court done from last time. So what I'm trying to find out is, I don't see doing teen court again. What happened that we didn't get the class done?
What, the life skills class?
Yes.
I got that done.
Did you turn it in?
I tried to, but they're telling me something about the permit. I was like, I got my certificate, but
okay, let me review the confusion. Okay. Looking at your order, you had a 10-hour life skills class due March 3rd and your permit. You signed off that you were going to do that. Right? Did he turn in his life skills class? Okay, I don't know. Maybe they asked you about the permit, but if you want to bring your life skills class over and turn it in today, I don't know why a clerk would turn you away and say that you can't turn it in because that's not real. They were probably also trying to get you to turn in your permit since you said that you would. That's what you signed off on. And that was both things were due on March 3rd. So bring your life skills class. I can count it as some of your community service. Where are you in the process of getting a permit? Mom?
well,
Let me hear from your mom for a moment.
my mom.
Well, Miss Lopez.
She barely speaks English.
Okay, well, where are you in the process of getting your permit since your new charge is not having a license?
My new charge.
Yeah, you have a charge. You had two charges January 8th of 2022. One was for no license, one was for running a stop sign. And then you had a new ticket February 21st of 2022 for no driver's license.
Oh.
You've entered a plea. You've said you're pleading to that charge. Or were you unaware that you were entering a plea and signing off on that plea? You checked off on it. Honestly, don't play with me. It's not worth it. Where are you in the process of getting your permit?
I gotta go take my test on April 13th.
Okay. I can count that toward your community service, but I am accepting your pleas on both cases or on all three cases. I'm going to go ahead and enter convictions at this time. that means you owe the court $596. If you will turn in your life skills class, I'm going to also declare you indigent, which means that you owe the $596 in community service. I will count the class as some of your hours, okay? Right now you owe 30 hours. The class can be 15. The permit can be 5. And so that means you owe 10 more hours. Do you have a church where you go or something nonprofit that you can do where you can volunteer time?
Mm-mm.
Okay, do we have one for him? The clerk is going to see if we have something available because you're a minor. Churches Touching Lives for Christ does allow someone your age to donate time there. And so does the Unincluded Club. They have very strict rules about behavior there, but they are good if you're willing to live within what they require. Mr. Trevino Lopez, do you understand I'm ordering you to turn in your class? I'll give you 15 hours credit for it. Turn in your permit, I'll give you 5 hours credit for it. And then you have 10 hours, which you can do at a nonprofit.
If I turn in my my class, my life skills class,
Yes.
is there a way I could just pay the rest off?
Let me give you a number of what that would turn into. So then you would owe the court $196 as long as you paid it within 30 days.
You said 100?
$196 if you pay it within 30 days. So what you'll do, I need you to come to the court and sign off on a payment plan. It will say that you owe 596 hours. If you will then turn in your class and your permit, then you have until May 3rd to pay the remaining balance. Yes? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Because yeah, it's not a word. Okay. All right. So someone by the court will sign you up for a payment plan, but I will, and I've written down that I will give credit for those things that I specified, namely your class finished certificate and your permit, which I'll look to get to you quickly because your final due date before the money goes up on May 3rd. Okay.
May 3rd.
Come in and sign up today though. What time should we look for you?
I could be down there within like 30 minutes.
Perfect. We'll see you at the front counter.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Ms. Dennison, I know you were still having trouble getting things resolved. Are you able to hear me? Can you unmute?
Yes.
Great. Yay. Okay. So I did review everything that you sent in. You had requested a monthly payment plan. I can approve that, but I wanted to tell you first, and you had requested $30 a month. I don't have any problem with that, but you are qualified to work this off through community service instead. And if we did that, it would be 14 hours. And I can give you 60 days to get that set up.
Okay.
would you prefer to do payments, or do you want to go ahead and set up for community
I'll do the community service, yes.
service? Okay. So I just need your signature on one form. We can email it to you if you can print it and send it back, or you can come by the court to sign off on it, which will work better for you.
Email's fine.
Okay. If we can just get that back from you this morning, okay?
Okay.
So print it, sign it, and then call and make sure we received it. What you're going to receive is a packet that just gives you the directions for community service. Then there's a timesheet to keep track of your hours. Make sure a supervisor authorized by the place that you go is signing off on that, because we do call and verify it. Get it turned in on time, which today, the due date is May 31st. And then it'll be zeroed out at that point. Okay, Ms. Dennison?
Okay.
Okay, do you have questions?
I don't think so.
Okay, we'll send that over here in the course of the morning.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Dennison.
I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Okay, so yay. And then moving forward, Denny Perkins, Ms. Perkins, and I guess McGinnis. I think I remember the name. Are you driving a car? Can't hear you.
Yes, ma'am. I was trying to wait, but I need to get to work. They didn't text me.
Ma'am, it's illegal to do that. So I'm going to not do that on screen. So
Okay, I'm going to park. I'm going to park.
I'm going to, pull over and call us back.
No. I'm parking right now. Right now.
I'm going to stop the video because that's not appropriate. And, folks, don't break the law on screen, please. It's actually not, in some circumstances, I suppose you can do a call. It's not advisable for anyone driving around you, but being on a screen, looking at a screen, is the same as watching a movie while driving. It's just, it's not allowed by Texas law. It's very dangerous. Okay. Let's see. So, Ms. Perkins, are you pulled over safely where you can tend to court properly? I'm going to come right back to you. I'll check in with you on the next time slot, but I'm going to go ahead and ask Ms. Smith. And it's okay that you weren't able to get your screen resolved, but Ms. Smith, can you go ahead and just unmute?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Perfect. I'm so sorry. I cannot.
Okay. We're gonna solve it.
Okay, thank you.
It's not the end of the world. So I did receive everything that you sent me, and okay, so here's kind of the rundown. I did receive your plea on a handicap placard charge.
Yes, ma'am.
I did want to ask you, and just give me 1 second. Let me ask the clerk.
Sure.
Does she have one that she submitted? Yes. We're just gonna look. Did you send in the updated?
Yeah, affidavit.
It's not an affidavit. It's an actual placard for the handicap parking.
I returned it, and I have the new one.
Right. I need a copy of the new one. I'm not the DMV. Okay.
Oh.
So I don't see what they have. Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay. If you are in compliance with the law, the next question I have has to do with, your whether it was, I think you missed a court date. And so I think the prosecutor might need to look at the case in order to consider a dismissal. And let me just double check on that. Okay, yeah, he's going to require a conversation if he's going to look at that.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is schedule you for his docket. And that availability, it's Zoom like this too. It can be a call, or it can be on screen. Okay. And I'm going to schedule that for the 19th of April. Okay. Okay. And we're going to send you a link to that meeting, and we'll see you at that time, okay?
Okay, so what is the standings now?
Where are we? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. That it's great question. I'm sorry if I didn't make it clear. I have some motions from our prosecutor about when it's appropriate to dismiss people's charge. And you had a placard at the time that was expired, and you brought it up to date. The thing is, his motion for me to just sign it required that you be on time to all your court dates. Somewhere in there, I don't know, I didn't look as carefully because it's not important right now. Somewhere in there, a court date was missed.
Yeah, and I do apologize for that, because but I do know that I called to find out, because if I can show him the ticket. It was very
listen.
Oh,
Let me pause you. Okay. So the short version is that all the things you want to tell me, you need to tell him.
Oh, him. Okay, I gotcha.
And I need to put you on that docket for that conversation. And we're going to do that on the 19th of April.
Okay.
And we're going to schedule you for that. And we'll send you the link to that meeting for the 19th of April. And you go ahead, in between now and then, it would be great for you to bring in everything that confirms what you're trying to tell me about it.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
The affidavit is not as important as the actual placard.
Oh, okay, great. I can do that today. Yes, absolutely.
Bring that in. And if you want to write a note about the missed court date and what happened, we can put that in your file for him to review.
Right. I'll just bring the ticket in so you can, because I couldn't hardly see the date. And I called and they said I didn't have that. I didn't have a court date. So that's the whole thing. I wrote the lady's name down too on the ticket. So
who did you talk to?
Starts with, I swear I thought it was started with the M. But I called the courthouse and I had asked them, I said, I do have a court date in December. I said, but I don't know what day. I said, because I can't read this ticket. And she said that she could not see a court date for me. And I said, are you kidding me? I said, it says right here. She says, no, ma'am. She says, you're not on the docket.
Well, I would need to know specifically who you spoke to. Because,
okay, absolutely.
Because the training that we received, that they received, they would never say that. They might have said, we don't have that ticket in yet, so we don't know. But rarely do they say we don't have a ticket and you don't have a court date.
Yeah,
that's not,
because I gave them a citation number too. So I do know she asked.
I'm just not really clear who that was. But the better option is for you to talk to the prosecutor, because the net effect is that you can tell me all that, but you still have to tell the prosecutor.
Right, absolutely. Okay.
And I'm really not supposed to be part of the discussion at that
I
point. So I'm trying to move you to the next step. Okay. But what I'm saying is, instead of telling me all this, you need to write it down for him to review.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So come on by between now and then, but we'll email you the link to the next meeting.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes.
Second.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, ma'am. So Ms. Perkins, are you able to safely get on screen? There you
Yes,
are.
ma'am.
Okay. There we go. All right. Thank you. So just wanted to confirm a couple of things with you. I did receive everything you sent in and I reviewed it. And I received a no contest plea on a no insurance charge from February 1st. And that ticket, if you paid it, is $281. However, in reviewing your situation, I did determine that you were eligible to work off your fines and costs through community service. And that would turn into 14 hours, which would be due by May 31st. How does that sound to you?
It sounds good, Judge. I thank you very, very much.
Can we email this all to you, get a signature back, and just have you email it back to us quickly?
Yes, ma'am.
Sometime today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll send that to you, and you just be safe, okay?
I thank you very much, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, very good. And so then our next person is Smith. Well, she was here. Oh, we did. I'm sorry. I forgot to post So I think everybody else is here for the prosecutor. I'm just going to review and make sure that that's an accurate statement. Let's see. Mr. Palmer, you're on the contested docket. Sorry, he's on both? Oh, there we
Yes,
go.
ma'am.
He sure is.
Yes, ma'am. I'm on both.
Okay, well, let me pull your file and look at you. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that one. There's a note
There
here.
was a charge where I was too dumb to stay off the road before getting it fixed, so I was pleading no contest to that.
Okay, so two issues, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
One, I'm not gonna be able to talk to you about. The other, I can. So let me tell you where I'm coming from and what it looks like from here.
Yes, ma'am.
So a stop on February 2nd, 2022. There's a speeding charge. It's 264. There's a no driver's license charge. That one is 181. And on that one, it's scheduled for the pretrial. And oh wait, hold on. Maybe I've got that turned around.
The speeding was pre-trial because I'm contesting that.
Yeah, gotcha. So you'll talk to Mr. Matson about the speeding. And then on the no driver's license charge, I guess my first question is always, hey, did you get your license yet?
No, I have an appointment in April, but I'm not contesting that because I thought I had fixed it, but I apparently have not. And that was my fault. I should have stayed off the road.
Okay, let me look and see.
And my new job starts on Monday. That's why I had to talk to you about this.
Okay, so let me just check one thing. Is this
Yes, ma'am. It's not my first.
Okay.
I was in here before, and that's why I said that it's my fault.
But I don't like saying that to people because it sounds like I'm making it. But the only time it's relevant is just in a sentencing context. Okay. So you said you have an appointment to get it, or have you gotten it now?
I have an appointment.
Okay. When is that appointment?
April 18th.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's hard to get in to see them. And you start a new job, you said next week?
Yes, next Monday.
Okay. Here's a thought. Okay. I want to reward you for getting that license because I'm a huge advocate for people just driving lawfully. You know,
Okay.
it's not good for the rest of us because if you hit someone, maybe your insurance denies the claim. It's not great for you because it's very stressful to be doing that and knowing that you could be apprehended. If you want to do a deferred disposition, if that is your request at this moment, I would grant it. I would reward getting that permit and turning it into us with part of your community service because I've already deemed that you could do community service. And that one, if I do that, it's 9 hours and 5 of those would be the permit.
Okay, and how much is it to pay it off? Just that one? Because I am contesting the speeding.
Just that one. If you're on deferred for that driver's license charge, your total is 181. If you turn in your permit, like within the week of getting it, okay. If you turn in that permit by May 3rd, then I count 5 hours.
Okay.
And then you have either 4 hours due or you have $80 due.
Okay, and I can pay either total at any time between now and then?
Yes.
Okay.
So I can put you on a deferred, but it's an additional piece of paper that we need a signature on today.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, all I was going to say is, can you lawfully get here to do a signature, or can we email it to you?
I can get there today. I might even be able to pay that one today.
Okay, $80 and then your permit.
Yeah.
Okay. What are
yes? Sorry.
Let me check how much I can do that. The court costs have to get paid. I can do all community service if I'm combining community service and payment. Yeah, it would be $81.
Your Honor, I
Yeah.
would like to be able to get it on like my own time and not be on a deadline because I've
Right.
had so many problems. I'll just
Okay.
pay the whole fine. for
Okay,
that one.
do you need more than, you just want to pay it? You don't want to do the deferred?
No, ma'am. I'm not contesting it. I should have stayed off the road.
Gotcha. Okay, all right. I don't have a problem with any of that. So do you need more than 30 days to make payment? Becomes very simple.
May I get 60, please? Since I'm starting
yes.
a new job.
Of course you can. The only thing is, there are two things that you need to know about that. It will go up, I think, $15, and that's a state cost. I mean, the legislature did that. I can't undo it. So
That's fine.
It'll go up $15, and it becomes what we call a long-term payment plan. So can you pay part of it today and the remainder within 60 days?
Yes, ma'am. How much would be due today?
Tell me what you can do.
I can definitely do $50 today.
That's fine. And then the balance, which is by May 31st. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so I just need a signature on that. And again, we can email it to you. That works best.
I can get in lawfully today. I have an Uber account.
Okay. Okay. So you're coming in to sign and get copies.
Yes, I'll definitely do that before 4 today.
Okay. And then the speeding charge, just hold. He'll be with you shortly. Okay. And I'll just put that over in that column. Very good. Thank you for pointing that out. All
Thank
right.
you.
Yes, sir. Let me look and see, make sure I didn't do that to anybody else. I'm only going to call names of people that I think are not here. And I'll do that after I take Mr. Mattson. I know that you were talking with, I guess it's Urimas Granada Paez.
Yes, Your Honor. I think she's still in the breakout room. If you could.
Oh, let me get
pull
her
her over.
Yes, I will do my very best.
Thank you. I also have a translator on speakerphone right now.
Okay.
Just in case there's anything that he needs to
clarify.
Anything that he needs to clarify to Ms. Granda, he will be able to do so.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. There we go. Ms. Granda, just if you could unmute.
Am I able to go with my mother and dad to, my mom has a hair appointment.
Miss Bonata? Miss
Yes.
Bonata?
Yes.
Yeah, you're suddenly you're talking to me in the middle of me talking to actually someone else.
Okay.
You're trying to reschedule because you can't stay on the meeting?
Yes.
I can stay on the meeting, but I'm going to be with my mom and my dad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to let you stay muted and we'll see how it works out. Miss Urimas Granada?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Mr. Mattson explained your conversation. Mr. Mattson, can you tell me what's happening?
Yes, Your Honor. So we have reached a deferral agreement. So it's going to be 120 days. She will be paying the ticket cost over the course of $90 every 3 months, which is a third, or every month, sorry.
Okay. When do we start that?
30 days from today, the first payment will be due.
Okay.
And then she will also be taking DSC and submitting proof of that by the 60th day from today.
Okay. Okay, and the translator explained all of this already?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know how we're getting her signature?
I don't. Mr. Translator.
Yes.
Can you ask Ms. Granda how she will be providing a signed copy of the deferral agreement to the court?
Señorita, ¿cómo usted estaría entregando una copia firmada del acuerdo de la corte?
Pues puedo ir a la corte directamente a firmarla.
Well, I can go directly to court to sign it.
Okay. What time?
What time can she come?
¿Qué hora?
¿A qué hora puede venir?
A las 2 de la tarde, ¿está bien?
At 2 p.m. if that's okay.
Perfecto.
Ah, habla español, gracias.
Un poquito. Okay, muchas gracias.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you, Mr. Translator.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr. Matson.
All right, sir.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
That will be
Thank
all.
you,
for now.
sir.
Thank you, Ms. Granda.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you,
Thank you for
bye-bye.
using our services. Have a great day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So advancing you forward, Nikisha Helms, it is your time. And I will move you, Ms. Helms, to the breakout room for the pretrial.
Thank you.
Thank you. She's moving over now.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Tend to freeze on the screen right before they go. Okay. Sometimes I've seen myself, and I definitely laugh at myself at that point. Let's see. I think I'm almost ready for Miss Venata. Let me just double check. Miss Venata?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And let me just get your file pulled. I received everything that you sent me. And I'm actually, there is a possession of drug paraphernalia charge from February 25th. And I have a no contest. I have a no contest plea. And the balance is 286, but I'm showing that you're qualified to work that off through community service. If we do that, it's 14 hours.
Okay.
And that would be the start due date would be May 31st. And I have some information. I need a signature on a document today. And I also need to give you a packet that gives you everything you need to successfully complete your community service.
Now, would it give me places I could go?
Yes. Yes, I have a list of places to choose from. And I let you control the timetable because I don't micromanage people. I just give you, yes, I give you a due date and then, you're a grown up. So are you going to come by the court to sign your paperwork, or do we need to email that to you for you to print, sign?
I will be by there in the next hour.
Great. So coming in this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll have everything at the front desk for you. It should only take a few minutes, okay?
Thank you so very much. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for that.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, let's see where we are. If I call your name and you're here, speak up. Now, don't tell me that you're here if I don't call your name. I think you're here. I'm calling names of people that I think aren't here. So Charles Bulls, did I miss you in the mix? Tyrone Foster, did I miss you in the mix? Giannina Garcia, are you here? John Gardner, are you here? Kelly Stramiska, are you here? Just a word about that, for court dates. Oh, there, John Gardner. There you are. Great. Great. Thank you. That's one of the reasons I do that. Thank you, Mr. Gardner. I did receive everything you sent today, or the other day, but I reviewed it today before court. And I received no contest pleas on your cases. And just to review what those are, these are actually the first one. These are all from a stop March 10th of 2015. And there was a speeding charge. These balances are going to appear very high. They have to do with when I take certain actions to try to get you to come in to take care of your offense, certain fees attach. And I don't have a lot of control over many of those, like warrant fees are mandated by law, things like that. So I do have high fees on these, and that's a lot of why that happens. I'm going to tell you now, because I'm not trying to create anxiety, that you are eligible to work these off through community service. But I need to confirm the plea, the charge, the plea, and what happens if you're found guilty, which in this case, the first line in lieu of payment would be to do community service. There's a speeding charge with a balance of $438.10, and I have a no contest plea on that charge. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And a driving with an invalid license from the same stop. That one is $456.17. I have a no contest plea on the charge itself. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then there is a no insurance charge with a fine and cost of $456.30, and I have a no contest plea on the charge. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry, there's some background noise with you, and I just wanted to confirm I heard you right. And then there's a no not coming to court, a no appearance charge, and that one is $434.20. I have a no contest.
Yes,
on
ma'am.
that.
No contest.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then I do show that you're eligible. I would order community service as satisfaction of fines and costs. Because of the fees, it's 89 hours. We would start with a due date in your case of June 28th. And then I can always give you more time if you need it, but the rules on that are on or before your due date. Give me what you have. That way I can make sure the provider is one we're going to accept. And also tell me how long you think you might need to complete it. And I'll do my best to work within what you need at that point to try to get you to a successful completion point. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The next question I have for you is, would it be better for you? You're in Madisonville. We can email everything to you if you can print it, sign it, and send it back over today. Do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And once I receive your signature, I will go ahead and recall your warrants. As far as your license goes, I have a hold on renewal. And the deal with that is that I need to zero out your balance in order to release it. So the sooner I can get these hours from you, the better. The hours are 3-for-1 hours, so they are hour for hour. Normally it would have, frankly speaking, traditionally, it would have been like 180 hours. So it's I've brought it down to 89. It's still a lot, but a bit more doable. I would like to get that done as soon as possible, but I can work with you with your limits. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're gonna email it.
Back to you.
Yes.
Yes,
Sorry.
as soon as you send them, I can get them back to you. Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay. That'll be heading your way within the course of the morning. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Yes, sir. Yes. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay. We're sending that over here pretty soon. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Stay well. Great. Sometimes with that. While we were in that meeting, let's see, gentleman came in, Ty Kirkland. Mr. Kirkland, he wasn't scheduled for today, so I wanted to talk. Mr. Matson, great. You had been visiting with Miss Helms, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe she is on mobile, so she will need to be pulled back over.
Okay. There we go. Let's see if that works. Okay, there are two charges. Are we heading to resolution or toward trial on these charges?
We are heading towards resolution, Your Honor, on the failure to maintain financial responsibility ticket. Ms. Helms was actually pulled over on her way to the insurance place. She got her insurance renewed 30 minutes after the citation. And that's within my 24-hour window. So I told her I would go ahead and dismiss that ticket.
Okay.
And on the expired driver's license, I believe Ms. Helms is going to change her plea to no contest.
Okay.
And I told her that I would just have her pay the court cost and submit proof of her license being renewed within 45 days of today.
So we're at, okay, so, okay, is that a deferred or is that a straight? Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ms. Holmes.
I'll be making the payment tomorrow of the $81.
Okay. And when can we get your license?
I will call DPS today and see if I can get an appointment in.
Okay. All right, here's a thought. So you're paying, when you come in tomorrow, it's going to look like that reduction has not been done yet, okay? Because he's hinged the reduction on receipt of the license. So what I'm gonna do is you're paying $81 tomorrow, and then your balance is due in 45 days. And if you bring in that license, we'll do a reduction. So let me just get my 45 days figured out here. Hold on. Let's see. That's going to be by, let's say by the 19th of May. That'll give us an extra day to do the reduction. And I'm just making a note that we're reducing to 0 if the DL is turned in. Reducing the fine to 0. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes,
yes, Your Honor. You said May 16th?
May 16th. That gives us a court date. That way, if we need to check in with you about it, we can.
I agree, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Helms, does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm letting you know I'm being careful with you because when you come in to sign tomorrow for that payment plan, they're going to put the whole balance on there and you'll be going, wait a minute. We're going to do that reduction once you've met the conditions that the prosecutor and you have agreed to.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We'll work with you then. I'm going to let you go. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. You're coming by tomorrow, so we'll see you then.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mr. Matson, moving you forward with Cedric Knox. And Mr. Knox looks ready to go. Everything looks in order, so that's good news. Thank you, Mr. Knox. I'm moving you over to that meeting and you can unmute and we'll see you back at the end.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Matson. When y'all are done. And again, just calling names of people that I think might not be here that I have not called the name for yet. And I'm actually, Jackie's iPhone, could you unmute and tell me your full name? Sorry, Mr. Palmer, I think I might have hit you with that request. Jackie's iPhone, could you give me your full name?
Yes, ma'am. It's Jacqueline Clifford.
Great, that's what I was thinking. All right, I got you sorted out. Thought you weren't here. But you are. So let's see. That's going to fit. The only person I still think isn't here is Joshua Walker. Are you here? Okay. All right. Everybody's waiting for the prosecutor, believe it or not. And we'll just keep working with you, okay? But what you're going to see is me doing paperwork, which is not very exciting. But I'm just here. Although I am going to go get some paperwork from the front desk. Let's see.
Your Honor,
Yes.
this is Aaron Wilson. Am I waiting for a prosecutor as well?
Yes, Mr. Wilson, you are.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. This is Walker. It's just a no-show. Thank you. Mr. Mattson? Let's see. Mr. Knox? Here we are. Are we moving toward resolution or are we moving toward trial?
We are moving towards resolution, Your Honor. Mr. Knox has actually provided the court with a photograph of a valid placard at time of citation. So I'm going to go ahead and dismiss this ticket.
Can we do that on your oral motion and send it on over for you?
Yes, we can, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Knox, excuse me, we will send that over to you in the course of the morning, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And Mr. Mattson, moving you forward, your next person is Heather Lewis. And Miss Lewis, let's see, sending you on over to that meeting. When that meeting is completed, come on back over to this meeting.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you both. That's a prosecutor dismissal based on proof in the file. We can generate. It's not his like, I don't know if it meets the motion definition. Sorry, the standing order definition. It's just an oral motion, but we can do it without the signature since we did it on Zoom. I'm going to put right here the no-show people on my docket with a decision. If someone doesn't show up to their pretrial and now they're no longer, they already missed their final pretrial, do we send a, hey, you failed to come in? We're going to. Okay. Yes. I'm sorry.
Your Honor, this
Yes.
is Mr. Wilson. I'm a driver, so I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning. Is there any way I can get this over with?
That's what everybody wants though. And we're just, it's people. Like if you were in the courtroom, we would be here till 1 o'clock with this.
Yeah, but I'm not even in town. I'm in Illinois right now.
Yeah, I didn't make you come to Temple to sit in court for 3 hours.
Yes, ma'am.
This is what we can do. And
Okay.
I know it's not convenient, but I mean, you have engaged this process. So I have no choice but to continue to use the process that the law provides.
Yes, ma'am.
It really has, without getting lecturing, because I'm really not interested in lecturing anybody. It's the Constitution and we follow it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
I get it. I do. But nobody says, oh, thank goodness I get to go. Yay. No one's happy. And that's my job. I sit and look at unhappy people all day and they are not pleased. I can't make you happy. I guarantee you that, but I can follow the law and make sure that it is fair to you and evenly applied and not inappropriate. So that's,
I know exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I was a correctional officer for 7 years, so yes, I understand.
So you do know, yeah. You're just tired, and I totally get that too. We'll get you there. You're coming up. You're coming up pretty quickly.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, on Heather Lewis. Where do
Yes,
we
ma'am.
stand? Oh, let me get her in here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Takes a moment. There we go. So where do we stand? Thank you, Ms. Lewis, on the Heather Lewis case.
For the time being, Your Honor, we are going to continue to final pretrial.
Okay.
Ms. Lewis would like some more time to think about what she wants to do with this ticket. And I told her that we could make that determination at any point leading up to the final pretrial hearing.
Okay, Ms. Lewis, just a reminder, and we'll probably be sending you something, but May 4th at 1 o'clock is that next timetable, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Mattson, your next person is Aaron Wilson. And Mr. Wilson, I'm sending you over to that meeting.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, and I believe he's should be heading over. Okay. Just I'll be right back quickly. I'm just going to go grab some papers. You got off. I've been stamping everything with a 30 instead of a 31. So sorry. Thank you. Yes, on, let's see, Mr. Wilson's charge. Let me get him back over.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes. Okay, so on this,
Slow.
that's okay. So Mr. Mattson, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Mattson, are we heading to resolution or towards trial?
Towards resolution, Your Honor, Mr. Wilson has accepted an offer to have his speeding offense reduced to 10% over the posted limit, and he will be paying the full amount of the ticket today.
Okay, let's see. If you can send that to Ms. Stotts, and we'll do that as soon as possible, because I don't want him to pay it and have it trigger a conviction that I have to reverse and undo. Does that make sense, Mr. Matt?
I'm sorry.
Yes, it
I'm sorry.
does.
You cut out.
I'll explain, Mr. Wilson, I promise. Can we get that?
Yes, I'll send it to you right now.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna move you forward. But Mr. Wilson, here's what is happening. And Mr. Palmer, you're next. I'm gonna go ahead and move you over. So Mr. Wilson, what is happening is that change is not a problem, but I want to get it into that system and confirm it before you make payment. So if you'll stay here, as soon as I get that motion and get it entered and we change that, then I'll let you know it's okay to go ahead and go pay. You can pay online or you can call the clerk and do an over the phone payment. Okay?
Oh, I could pay it over the phone. Over the phone.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so
That's
just
even
stay,
better.
you're on hold for just a moment, but we won't lose track of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. He said, what? You know what, that's fine, just print it and do it. Let me review that with him. Let me look and see what we have. Yeah, we need to get one of those from him. Okay.
Okay, so we have to reduce the speed. What's the motion that we need?
Well, he made one in an email. He made it in court. And then, there's an email saying that's what he's wanting to do. I don't think he has a motion. What Erin, I have approved that she just print that email out and scan it to the file, but we need to do that reduction in the system. It's legally okay to proceed to do it, but I will get with him about drafting that motion so that we can do it on an actual physical motion in the future. That's ready. Has Mr. Wilson been changed? Not yet, okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm just checking on the status with the clerk. We'll be right with you. We're
Yes,
working on it. Sorry. Yes. Yes. Okay. So on the, let's see, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Palmer. Okay, on the Palmer case, I'm sorry, he's still moving back over. There we go. Okay. Mr. Mattson, and where are we on this matter, the speeding charge?
At this time, Your Honor, we're looking to move to final pretrial. Mr. Palmer has also requested a discovery hearing.
Okay, we'll do that on the same date. 1 o'clock on May 4th.
1 o'clock on May 4th.
May 4th.
Okay.
And
Thank
we'll
you.
send you, we should be sending that information over shortly. I think we send that for the final pretrials after today. They have it. Okay, that should already be in everything that we sent. But,
Yes, sir.
and then you're coming in today to do the $50 payment license charge and the balance by May 31st. Okay?
You said by May 31st?
Yes, that's what you had requested, like up to 60.
Yes. What's the total balance after the $50, if you don't mind my asking?
I believe I'm going to confirm that. You'll have to confirm that with the clerk, but
And that's just on the license charge, correct?
yes, 146 will be the balance after you pay. The $50 and the 30 days fee gets out. So
Thank you.
Come by the clerk's office today to sign that, and they'll give that to you in writing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. See you in May.
Thank you. Do I leave now?
We're adding that discovery hearing to that setting.
Oh, okay, on May 4th.
Yes.
And that is in person, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Just making sure I've got that in my notes.
Do I leave the Zoom meeting now?
You do. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bye-bye. And Mr. Mattson, you're moving forward then with Bradley Cole or Coel, however people say that different ways. Is he still here? Yes, there he is. Mr. Cole.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on a phone or are you on a smart device?
I am on a PC and I've just activated video.
Perfect. That'll be easier for you. And so I'm going to move you over to that meeting. And afterward, you've already caught the drill. Probably you're coming back in.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Are we good with Mr. Wilson? Almost done, Mr. Wilson. We're still working on it. That's kind of a multi-step process, but we're close.
You're fine. My job is waiting all the time anyway, so.
Gotcha. Ms. Freeman, I did get your message. Are you back to audio? sent a message. Lots of irons in the fire today. Okay, and so Mr. Mattson and Mr. Cole, where are we on this case?
We are heading to dismissal, Your Honor. Mr. Kale's registration sticker was kicked out of the system by the county tax assessor collector, so he registered his vehicle but never received it. And he's already submitted a sworn affidavit from that office indicating as such.
Okay, on your motion, then I will go ahead and do a prosecutor dismissal. We will not look for that paperwork. Process and get that over. Mr. Cole will be emailing that to you.
I'm sorry, the last few words I did not hear.
We'll be emailing that. I did. I let my voice trail off. We'll be sending that motion over to you shortly.
Okay, thank you. I do appreciate it, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Bye-bye.
Okay, and so moving you forward to Natalie Freeman. She has had to log out and log back in. I'm just going to advance you one person and then come back to her. She's having some technical problems.
Okay.
So I'm then moving you forward to Derwin Newsom. And I was actually just trying to pull that file to see if it was eligible for your motion, but usually we screen on that, but we did only get those relatively recently. And I'm not 100% positive that those have all been moved that way through that system to see. So I was just checking because I'm sitting here idle. Derwin Newsom, can you get on screen or are you on the phone?
I'm on the phone, man.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to move your phone call over to this breakout room where you're talking to Mr. Mattson. When you're done with that conversation, what actually will happen is you'll need to hang up and dial back in so we can talk further, because the technology is such that with a regular phone, I mean, we can try to move you back over, but usually it won't do it. So at the end of this, we might be having you dial back in, okay?
Okay. And do I have to put in that same ID number to get back in?
You would, yes. If that happens, if you get disconnected or we say, hey, hang up and dial back in, it's exactly the same process as before, okay?
Okay. Thank you, man.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Newsom. I'm moving you over now.
Okay.
This one is good to go. You can do based on that. Mr. Wilson? Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
We have everything ready to go. You can either go onto the court's website today and do payment, or you can call the clerk's desk. On the website, just look for Temple, Texas Municipal Court. You can just put those words in and you'll find us with a payment option, or you can call the clerk's desk at 254-298-5687, and they can walk you through it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. You're good to go.
Appreciate it, Your Honor.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye. These papers. Miss Freeman. Not back in, not in the meeting. I hope things are working out. And so it's good. This is Rennie. It's good. Hi. Mr. Matson, I do see that Mr. Newsom, the phone, of course, went ahead and disconnected.
Yes, he's going to dial back in, Your Honor.
Okay. Is there information you can share with me without violating any rules? Is it resolved or?
He is going to go ahead and just come up and pay the full amount of the fine today.
Okay. And it's a straight hit?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to just go ahead and move forward. Miss Freeman is here, and Miss Freeman, can you hear us? Can you unmute?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. Great. I'm going to go ahead and move you on over to that meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Glad we got it resolved.
Hello?
Hi. Thank you for calling back in, Mr. Newsom.
You're welcome. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I want to make sure I understand. And the prosecutor went ahead and just relayed to me the agreement that y'all have is just that you're going to pay the full amount today. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, I should be up there within an hour.
Okay, yeah, the clerk can do that at the window with you.
Okay, and I told him once I get my paperwork back from the VA, I'll just bring the placard up there and let him put it in the system.
Okay, well, you don't need to bring it into us after you pay today, but it'll definitely keep you from getting any more citations.
Okay, I appreciate that, man.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Mason.
Thank you. I can leave
Bye-bye.
now?
Yes, you can
Okay,
leave.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
don't do garbage pickup for community service anymore. Us, do they? Sorry if I kept anyone waiting. Let me move Ms. Newsom back over, hopefully. Okay, so Mr. Mattson and Ms. Newsom, sorry, Ms. Freeman, Mr. Mattson, where are we on this charge?
Your Honor, Ms. Freeman is going to have the fine amount reduced, and she will just pay the court costs. And I am requesting that she be allowed to pay 1/3 of those court costs every month for 3 months, which would be $45 per month.
Is that a straight hit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and the fine reduced is down to what amount?
Down to 0, just court costs.
Okay, thank you. Miss, I will move you forward actually to Elizabeth Rennie.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Remy, I'm just sending you over. You might want to get your audio going. And if you have video, do that as well. We're sending you on over. Ms. Freeman. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Perfect. So I will accept that reduction. I'm going to need your signature on the payment arrangement. Are you coming? Can you come by today, or can you do it through email?
I should be able to do it through email.
Okay, you can print it, sign it, and send it back over.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hold on just a moment. Let me look at your fines. On Natalie. So actually, he forgot to take into account that there is a 30-day payment fee that gets added of $15. And that's going to move you up to about almost $50. Let me see how that would look. It's $134. So it brings your total down from $164 to a total of $149. And then it would be $50, $50, and $49. Do you understand what is happening?
Yes.
Okay. And can you, we will email that to you. And that's just the only, that's a fee that I can't do away with. I'm not legally allowed to, neither is he. So it becomes the bare minimum. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sending that over to you, and it's just a printout of the payments. I'm assuming we start 30 days. Do you start today, or do you need some time?
I definitely need some time, Judge.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not in the best position right now, so.
Yeah. That's under, I did see that. There was a lot going on for you. So let's say May 3rd. Are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, May 3rd, then June 3rd, and then probably July 1st
Okay.
for those payments. And we'll send that to you and we'll expect to get it back from you. Call and check and make sure when you send it back that we received it, okay?
Okay. Can I, if I don't email it, can I drop it off in person at the?
Yeah, you can come in person and just sign it here and we'll give you a copy if you want to do that.
Okay. Okay.
What
If I
time?
can, let me see. I might can make it. What time do they close? Maybe 4 or 5?
4 would be good because at 5 we're closing things out. So
Okay.
I'll say you're coming in by 4 o'clock, okay?
Okay.
Okay, we'll
But still
suspend.
send the email just in case I have to go pick up my son in Killeen. I'm not sure
Okay.
how that work out.
Okay. So either we're going to email it and you're either emailing it back or you're coming. By 4.
Correct.
Okay, everything by
Correct.
4 o'clock. Call and confirm
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
Don't blow it off, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. We'll email it first. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
And so is
She should be
going?
calling back in, Your Honor.
Here we go. Okay, Miss Remy, can you hear us?
Yes, Judge.
Sorry, hello?
Yes, Your Honor. Can you hear me
Yes.
now?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
So Mr. Matson is just about to tell me with you here what's going on with this matter.
Your Honor, Miss Remy did have a valid Texas placard at the time of the citation. It just was not hung up in her vehicle. So I'm going to go ahead and dismiss this ticket.
Okay. Do we have a copy in the file?
We do. Copy of her placard and her driver's license.
Okay. I'll just go ahead and do that motion based on the evidence. And I'll move you forward to the last person, Jacqueline Clifford.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mason. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. And we'll just, we'll send that to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Clifford, I'm moving you forward. Oops. Things move around on my screen. Okay. That's a prosecutor motion. I don't know that we have an email for that person. She phones in. We may just be signing it and mailing it. Okay. So are we still in the middle of that pretrial, or are we moving forward?
We are moving for a dismissal on this one as well, Your Honor. Ms. Clifford did have valid insurance at the time of the citation, which she has submitted to the court.
Okay, and it was valid at the time?
Yes, Your Honor. It was valid in October of 2021, and she received the citation in January of this year.
I'll have you send that over.
I'm sorry, did you say you're going to do that as a oral motion, or am I going to print that out?
Let me look, because, okay, so this is an accident case, but I don't actually know if she was just the one being, I don't know if she was cited for the accident or not. And it does matter. On that one, we have proof of insurance in the file, perhaps. And is there a way to know? We probably didn't verify it because it was, but she wasn't cited for anything else, right?
We can verify it.
We did?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
But
Was she cited for the accident?
we can do a prosecutor's motion because it was during an accident.
Right. Was she cited for the accident? No.
No.
Okay. Okay, great. We will do it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Clifford, we'll send that over to you. I'll accept that oral motion. Okay, so that concludes, and Ms. Clifford, we'll email that dismissal over to you. Okay, I didn't hear you, but I did see you say, okay. We'll send it to the email on file. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
That's everyone.
That's everyone. Let's see. Oh, we had the motion to reduce speed finally, right?
We finally found one.
Yeah, was it his? Did he sign it?
No, we just did it by through Zoom.
And okay, so, and then he sent it back.
No.
Is it signed?
Like that.
Okay, send that to him so that he can send it over when he does that. We're gonna send you the written motion on the, yeah, we'll send you a blank motion. Well, there's two ways to handle, that's what I was gonna say. There's two ways to handle the reduced speed scenario. And that's gonna normally be your CD folks, It's not always, it can be other people too, but it's most common there. And if you want to put a prosecutor motion on file for us to just accept that orally, and then we have a blank one to use, we would not use that at the front window. We would only use it like in Zoom, or when we are in open court, if you make that motion, we won't have to get a signature. It won't be used. Some motions are for clerks to send to me to sign on your motion, standing order. Some are for the courtroom. So you would specify in there, one motion was made orally in court or on Zoom or Zoom-like, hearing. And then it would just be a matter of doing it on your oral motion. We would check off that, yes, it happened in here or in the courtroom or in the courtroom online. And, that'll keep us from, we just were a little thrown by that one today because we have not reviewed that scenario with you and got signatures. So we'll send a blank one over for you to look at and figure out what you want to do with that. It does predate Zoom because I haven't had one of those in a while. So that was that one. And then the only other thing was I noticed in your motions for theft intervention that, well, I actually just need to look at it. I just haven't gotten a chance to look. Your motion does talk about, let me pull that. It's a PDF, I'm remembering now. It discusses let's see, 8-hour class, 60 days.
Is this the dismiss first offense theft standing motion?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And everything looks good with that. The only thing is, and there are actually two more things, this and one more thing to talk to you about. Everything is very clear. We had a pretrial, it's not really, there's no such thing anymore. The law did away with quote a pretrial diversion. But we do them, we just don't call them that anymore. So I don't have any problem. I mean, you might want to change the wording, I don't know, but that's on your number 3 on that motion. The only other thing with that is, yes, we set him on a docket and there can be an extension to 30 days. I got all that. So you're wanting us to just reset them, right? You're not wanting them to sign off saying, we used to have them sign off and say, hey, I know by this date, if I don't get it in, well, essentially they would get a show cause. And then so they made a conditional plea. And the conditional plea that they signed off on says, I agree I'm extended. I agree that on the date, if my certificate is not received, I will be subject to a conviction. In reality, they also got a show cause. And then procedurally, and then we would execute that conditional plea, find them guilty, send them a balance due letter. I don't know if that's what you want to do. I'm not suggesting that you need to do it that way. We've done it that way in the past, and today it triggered me to ask you, hey, is that what you want to do? Or do you just want to set them back on your docket to review it with them? Hopefully they show up.
That's a really good question. I guess it kind of,
think about it. You don't have to.
I'll think about it,
Yeah,
because there's pros and cons to both.
there really are. There's a fairness issue, but there is a show cause. But I mean, the show cause is like they get a show cause that says, come show me why this didn't happen. And that is a call to say, is there a mistake? Is there an error? Point that error out to us. Show causes are really about, we want to make sure that if there's a mistake on our end, we know like that. And it's, people will say, well, I sent it. Well, yeah, but you're responsible for getting it to us. We're not responsible for making sure that you got it to us. So, I'm big. I think you are too. I can tell the flavor of what you're sending in is responsibility taking. And there's just multiple ways to accomplish that. So think about it. And either way, okay. I'll tell you, in the Zoom universe, it hasn't been particularly effective to try to get signatures on multiple things. I don't know if that's because people struggle with the technology. I'm not seeing a lot of struggle, just like the phone call people. We try to really work with that. Another thought is it's due on their final pretrial date. And if they don't show up, if we have that conditional plea, then we execute it there. Well, we wouldn't really, we would send a show cause for not showing up at that proceeding, and then we would execute that. So it's pretty far out. That said, if someone's blowing it off, we have a way to finalize.
Right.
Because the intention was do or die. They've entered a conditional plea. It's like a plea bargain. And it really affects that prior pretrial thing. Now we kind of call them like a desktop deferral because the prosecutor is manning that station a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's your desktop, not mine. But in terms of how we work with our software, that would be a way to do it that would be very efficient, but it may or may not be what you're trying to accomplish. So think about it. Let me know. I can send over what we used to use. I want to say I carved that out with Ms. Warren.
Okay. I'll definitely take a look at that.
Okay, I'll send it over. Okay. The only other thing was, and this was just a point of procedure. We had a case with you recently, and I'm looking around because I think I put it down in my file back here. It was with Mr. Blythe, and we had a show cause, and I think he had emailed you and said, I was a little unclear what he wrote. I'll have to pull it up. And
Was it Mr. Christensen's case?
Yeah, I believe that's right. And you excused him from court, like you don't need to be here. You don't get to tell people that. I'm not fussing, but
Okay.
that's actually not something you want to get in the habit of saying to anyone. You know, let them know that's the show cause date. You or the client could show up on the Zoom or in the courtroom. And I'm not authorized to release you. You'll need to talk with the clerk's desk and with the coordinator. It's really Melissa.
Okay.
Yeah. So just so you know, because the last thing I want to do is try to hold someone in contempt for not showing up to court and have them say, well, the prosecutor told me I didn't need to be there. Because then that becomes, well, I'm not here to protect you, but that just becomes a crazy world. So ethically, it just becomes difficult. And then the net effect is we kind of have to start over. And the problem with that is if we start over and the show cause has run and the final date has run on the deferral, I lose jurisdiction to do that show cause and I'm not able to affect it.
Okay.
And I'll look at that one. I'm not sure if it had a problem after that or if it was resolved and we solved it. I'll check first. But it triggered hey, reminder, only the judge excuses people from the court date.
Okay.
Okay. No,
Understood.
Yeah. No, again, I'm not yelling. I'm not a yeller anyway. I just don't find that it's becoming, I don't look very good when I do it. And I'm not trying to look good, but I mean, it comes off more harsh than it needs to. And it's just not my style. Okay, so we're good for the day. Do you have any questions or anything that you need to ask about?
I think that's it. Looks like the only person that didn't show up was Mr. Walker.
That is correct. And we have a final pretrial that's already been set. If he shows up, then we figure out why they didn't come in. Sometimes it's technology. And that's what those courtroom activities are partially for, is where things aren't working. And then if they don't show up there, they get a show cause. We're sorting it out again.
All right. Well, I will keep my eye out for that motion for the reduction. And yes. I will also take a look at getting a standing motion in place for that so that we can make it a little bit more seamless.
Yes, great. Reduction, theft. I'll send that theft information over. You can sort of see how it used to track. I'm not going to tell you that works perfectly. I'm open to whatever you're interested in doing there.
All right. Thank you, Judge Person.
We can discuss. All right.